Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World We're going to talk about NXT, September 19th, 2023. Vic Joseph, Booker T on commentary, and we started off with Becky Lynch, the man, the Grand Slam man. She started rapping. Started dropping them bars. I was like, oh, I just like, give Becky a beat. You know, then Tiffany comes out. It is official, though, after these two going back and forth. I like what Becky said. She's like, you can fight, kid, but you just can't talk. It is very true. But, you know, it's just a jab, and we are getting the rematch at No Mercy next Saturday. I'm excited. I think this is what Tiffany Stratton needs to fulfill her destiny as becoming the champion, because I've said it time and time again, this championship reign has just been flat, and I think Becky Lynch is the stepping stone, or the step to a higher ranking for Tiffany Stratton, because Tiffany can go. She can wrestle in that ring. But with the championship being a hot potato, and now that Becky holds the championship, I hope that it's going to be a great match like their first confrontation. No commercial breaks, you know, just these two badasses going at it, and Tiffany gets the win. And it's a big win for Tiffany Stratton. Ilya Dragunov backstage got an interview. He's talking about his match against Carmelo Hayes at No Mercy, which is good. Like, you already got Becky and Tiffany, and you got Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes. I'm like, oh, next Saturday, woof, that's a whomping weekend. Just because of the fact that you have Wrestle Dream that next night. So, Wrestling Palooza all next weekend. We got Rampage, SmackDown, we got Collision, we got No Mercy, we have Wrestle Dream, all in one weekend. It's going to be a doozy, but let's go, Dan. But Ilya has the dragon. It's inside him. He wants to take on Carmelo Hayes, and I want him to be our next NXT champion. So Becky, backstage, kind of cuts it off and says, because Kiana James came out during the confrontation between Becky and Tiffany. Kiana James attacks and everything like that. Then Becky got mad when she came backstage, and she's like, hey, if you two against me, whatever, you know, let's do it. You know, let's go tonight in the main event. And throughout the night, you know, of course, he had Roxanne Perez offer help, but you know, she was hurt a little bit, so Becky's like, nah. And at the end of the day, we got Lyra Valkyria that came out, but we'll talk about that in a bit. The first up is the Global Heritage Invitational match, Butch versus Tyler Bate. Woo! Ha! Ouch! Mama! Tyler Bate versus Butch. This is some good stuff right here, man. I had a good time with this match. Butch for the win, but Tyler Bate, man, that dude is a star. Butch is a star, man. I want him to go back to being Pete. Not Butch. You know, I remember when they made that changeover, it was such a Vince McMahon thing. He's like, you're Butch. You know, but no, we need to get him back into the fold. And, you know, this Global Heritage Invitational has put out some bangers as matches, even though the point system's a little like, okay, they're tied. Oh, they're this or that. But Group A, Group B, overall, still got some banger of matches. And this match right here is one of my matches of the night is Butch versus Tyler Bate, Global Heritage, and Butch for the win. And Butch moves on. Metaphors watching on in this, and they got the Matrix theme going. I love it. I was just like, that little box or whatever they're sitting up on top, it was like Frozen last week, and then it was like that was their lounge area. You know, they had a safari thing going on week previous, but this week it was all Matrix. Like, I was like Noam Dar and everything. I was just like, this is awesome. Next up is the Global Heritage Invitational match, Joe Coffey with Gallus versus Duke Hudson with Andre Chase. hell of a banger. These two fought. Joe Coffey, man, he is somebody that has grown really like on me a lot. Like he's a feisty fighter, and he brings it too. Brought it to Duke Hudson, but Duke Hudson got the win, and now it's basically the whole thing is tied up. What do we do in a tie? We have a triple threat. And that's what we find out when Nathan Frazier's backstage interview after a great match with Joe Coffey and Duke Hudson, and is told, guess what, kid? This can be you versus Duke Hudson versus Joe Coffey. Winner takes all. Let's go, Dan. Roxanne Perez versus Lola Vice with Elektra Lopez on her side. Of course, Roxanne for the win. This match was okay upon itself. Then we had Eddie Thorpe challenge Dijak to a strap match, and I'm going to hold those two on a high pedestal because one of my favorite strap matches of this year was Bryan Danielson and Ricky Starks. I know it's AEW, and I know that they have a little bit more of freedom when it comes to those sort of things, like to beat the shit out of each other, but I think these two are going to beat the crap out of each other, and this happens at No Mercy. That card is just going to be lining up to be a banger of a show. Carmelo Hayes versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio. I thought the finish was great. I thought the finish was creative. You don't have Carmelo Hayes get pinned. You don't have Dirty Dom get pinned because they both have championship matches at No Mercy. You know, Dominic's going to take on Mustafa Ali. I would like Mustafa Ali to be here tonight just so we can build more of that feud. But Ilya Dragunov is on commentary, you know, and Melo tossed Dom into Ilya, then Dom tossed Melo into Ilya, then Dom slaps Ilya and goes in, and Ilya Dragunov is not having it whatsoever. So he comes in and just starts attacking, and it ends up being a DQ. I was like, that's really smart. That is a smart booking right there because you don't want both your champs to go at it one-on-one. And this was a really, really fun match. So booking it the way they did with ending it in a DQ where neither or gets pinned was very smart. And Shawn Michaels, that's I give you a golf clap. I give you a golf clap. But after that, Dirty Dom takes off because Ilya hits Melo, and because he pulled Melo into the fold, and Dragon Lee's waiting basically for Dirty Dom, and he kicks Dirty Dom and picks up the championship. And next week on Monday Night Raw, we have Dominic Mysterio putting up that championship against Dragon Lee. So Dirty Dom's working, and I hope these two really have a banger of a match on Monday Night Raw and showcase what Dominic Mysterio can do. Because if you watch this match with him and Carmelo Hayes, it was a fun match, and they let him wrestle. They let Dirty Dom wrestle, and I like that. And Mommy's watching on, sending all her love. Global Heritage Invitational, the triple threat match. We got Nathan Frazier versus Duke Hudson versus Joe Coffey. What do you think was going to happen? A banger. Frazier, Hudson, Coffey equals banger. No stranger to the bangers. This show is going on. The Global Heritage Invitational. And Joe Coffey has got the win. It will be him and Butch next week to see who will face Noam Dar. Okay. Calm down. This was a fun match, though. Joe Coffey got the win. I felt a little bad for Nathan Frazier because I really do like Nathan. Duke, you know what's funny is when I first started watching NXT, I really hated this Chase U shit. Like, I really did. But I would like to see, like, this show delivered on all levels. Like, this show really did deliver. I'm okay with Joe Coffey winning, and I'm okay with Joe Coffey versus Butch next week. Sign me up, please. I will be there with my remote control, and I'll be watching, and I'll be like, Joe Coffey and Butch to see who will face Noam Dar. I don't know why I went to that accent. Tiffany and Kiana are backstage. Becky's watching on, you know, because she's going to, basically at this point, she's going into this match alone. Or is she? Melo's backstage. He's walking out, you know, to his car. He's like, and they got him. They're like, hey, you know, Ilya, I took him out at Great American Bash. I'm going to take him out at No Mercy, so he needs to watch his mouth. And I want one more great confrontation between these two next week, because next week is the go-home for No Mercy. So I was like, yeah. Now we're in our main event. Becky comes out. Tiffany and Kiana attack. And then here comes Lyra, Valkyria. She comes out. Helps Becky, then this ends up being a tag team match. But Becky and Lyra got the win over Tiffany and Kiana James. I love what Tiffany did. She attacks Becky with the chair and attacks Lyra. And what I really like, I was like, oh, you could end it on a great note there, right? Where she puts up the championship over Becky, holding it over her body and whatnot. As she got laid the waist with the chair. And walking out, Becky grabs the mic. She goes, oh, you want to play it that way, huh? Huh? So at No Mercy, not only is it we get the rematch. I'm telling you this, folks. This is where we get crazy. This is where I jumped up in my chair and I was like, oh, hell yeah. And I'm talking about Becky says, okay, at No Mercy, not only do we get this rematch, we also get it's gonna be an Extreme Rules match. I was like, oh my Lord. Oh my God, yes! Oh, my chair. My chair. I did it again. Wife got mad at me earlier because I tossed the chair up. She's like, God damn it, big head boy. But Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton at No Mercy, Extreme Rules match. Great show. It's going to be a great pay-per-view. Sign me up. I'm all there, baby. That's it. That's all. I give the show a 5 out of 5. I had a really good time with the show. So tell me what you thought of NXT, September 19, 2023. Vic Joseph, Booker T on commentary. Drop those comments below. What did you like? What did you dislike? Are you excited for No Mercy? Because I sure am. All right, y'all. Drop those comments below. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. Share with your grandma. Share with your grandpa. Share with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja, and as always, the new... Oh, wait. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com. Why am I forgetting these things? / New World Podcast. I want to see that sweet NWP logo. Go tell your friends. Tell them all. If you're professional wrestling fans, you're listening to the New World Podcast on a paper Saber universe. You're listening to KMB the Sexy Ninja. I have been getting some great feedback, and people said they love it. They're entertained. They get all like emotional. When I get emotional, they get all excited. When I get excited, because that's what I bring to the table. Let your homies know, let your family know, let grandma know, let the bum at Walmart know, and tell them, like, hey, guess what? You like pro wrestling? Listen to the New World Podcast, brother. And remember, it's for life.
Because we bring the fight every damn night. It doesn't matter the name, the game is the same.